Welcome to Wickwood Cottage, where art, candles and a little bit of crafting magic comes to life. We are Rob and Jackie, and this channel is all about making the most of what we've got, dreaming big even later in life, and sharing a slower, more creative way of living. This is our journey. I've literally just come into the shop and I thought we'd do a mid-journey tour. So this room, actually a couple of days ago, it looks a little bit empty, and look at it again now. It's now full of stuff again. Some of the same things are in here and some other things are in here. This is from the studio. That's an old piece of furniture we did from yesteryear, and we decided to, well, Rob decided to bring it down here because it's a lovely piece of furniture, to be fair. So no doubt he's going to do it up again and it'll go in the shop. But yeah, you can see we've even got, we couldn't escape that, could we? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a tour of downstairs, because downstairs is where the biggest impact is seen. These stairs, you know, they're so steep and so long. The other day we were carrying furniture down here and it wasn't easy, I can tell you. Yes, we have new plugs. Well, we only have that one at the minute. We have got a plug that allows us to turn the lights on in this end of the shop, which will be the work end. And we've now got a different light that end. So let me show you. We've put our units up. The fence is on. You can just see it there. Look, I painted that yesterday. And this flooring, oh my gosh, I painted it 2 weeks ago on Tuesday. It's Sunday today. And there's still little bits of it that are not yet dry. So this is our work area. So at the minute, obviously you can see work tools, but this is going to have all the craft things, everything we use. The floor is not good, and you can see where I've painted furniture there and got little bits of paint on the floor. But do you know what? This is a working area. This is where we are going to be producing the craft items, the furniture. This is Rob's corner. So here we're going to have another bookcase. That pallet and maybe another one is going to go on this wall, I think, and that will allow us to hang brushes and things on there so they're easy to get to. This bit here, which is what I'm standing in, but that bit there, imagine there is the stairs door, there we'll have a gate, and that bit there will be the floki zone. So the door will be open, so he can come down, he can be with us here without disturbing anyone in the shop or any of our crafts or anything that we're doing here. He'll be able to run upstairs and he'll use upstairs freely. This is then ongoing, so we're going to get a lot of stuff in there. That's going to be my work area here. Obviously this is Rob's dresser, art right there, my dresser there, my bookshelf there. We're going to be covering all that in with ivy. We had some ivy up there not long ago. Yesterday it was there and I took it down because I needed to paint in here. He hadn't quite painted it, but that'll be disguised. We've then got 2 gates. So where we've just come from, up there, just there, you can see a gate, and we've got another one here. So let me just move this stool. This allows us to just be able to get into the shop pretty easy. So then we come into this part of the shop, and let me show you our ceiling. I'm just going to walk over here first and put the lights on so you can see it with the lights on. This flooring we've got now, we just haven't done it. So over here, look, we've got some new lighting. So there we go. These umbrellas, these are just being put into position just so we can see how it looks. Apart from that one there, these are all going to be painted, which I might do today, now I'm here. Obviously the lanterns represent dandelions. The umbrellas are going to be painted, we think, in purple, and they're going to represent flowers. So there's going to be a lot of ivy and different foliage hanging from the ceiling. We've got another little light point in there. Rob came, he stayed here till about 12 o'clock last night. We're going to have another one of these spider lights, but a smaller one up this corner, because we felt this corner was quite dark. So yeah, it's homely lit. It's, you know, it's warm, isn't it? Over on this wall, we think we're going to have, I think I've mentioned it before, but we think we're going to have the bureau there, the dresser in the middle there, and I was going to paint a tree up that wall there, but now Rob's gone and got another dresser, a corner dresser, and I think we're going to have that there because I think it'll look rather nice. And you can see now the fence has been painted. So apart from the ends here, you can't really see that this is, you know, industrial shelving. We could put something at the end of that to disguise that bit, or I could even try and paint it. But you can see it looks like a little fence. We're going to sand that down a little bit and make it look a little bit distressed, just because that will fit the vibe of the shop. And yeah, we're going to have another dresser here, because he's fetching another dresser as well. We think we might be having that potentially there. We're thinking maybe of putting some chicken wire around that and making a tree there. We're not sure, but the fire we think is coming here now. And we're pretty sure that the reels are going to go down there. Now the windows have been done, but it's going to be pretty tricky to show you the windows. So you can see we've got the lovely big gate. When you think about it, you know, Rob made me that back in 2010, and now it's in our shop. It's just weird how things work out. So we are introducing ourselves to the world, so people can see this. They know then what is coming. The window, we've basically tried to make it look like a garden. The garden with obviously artwork. Got a nice little bird cage up there. I'm not quite sure. I don't want to step in it. But we've just got these shelves, look, with items on that we've made, or wax melts, and that are to sell. And then the other window is done. Let's come out of there. We'll go into this one. This one isn't finished, to be fair. So this window, same thing, but this is meant to be Elric, our resident wizard's living room. So you can see that we've just got the table that I made, Rob's Elric artwork there. We've got a few items on the shelves, little bits of artwork and bits we've thrifted and done up. A few lanterns, little teacup, copper kettle, which I loved, one of our burners, Elric's pipe, and of course paintbrushes, because that is what we do. So yeah, that doesn't still need tweaking. Oh, and of course Elric's hat. That's nice, isn't it? We're going to have this bit up here. So this bit is clearly an old heater, and it doesn't work. So we're going to either put a little bit of canvas over it or a piece of wood, and we've got a lovely sort of sentiment there that we're going to write on there as people leave the shop. They can read that on their way out. We were going to paint the doors, but didn't. We didn't bother because we didn't think that you could notice that they were that grey. Yeah, we've ended up putting that canvas up there. Rob painted it and hung it there basically because the lights behind it, being LED, were really quite bright, which is what we need because we're going to work there. But it made the shop look cold. So we thought, well, if we put something up and just not disguise them, we don't want people to, you know, think they're not there. That's not what we're after. We just wanted to dim them slightly. We needed the bright light at the back, but we didn't want the bright light to come into the shop. So hopefully that achieves that. And I think it does. So yeah, all looking good. And now I'm going to be sanding today. Sanding those and this. Just having a moment outside. It's gone a bit dull today. So we've had some really lovely days, haven't we? Even the UK anyway. Got a bit of a cough as well. Excuse me. Oh, I can see a squirrel in a tree over there. I'm sorry. I'm getting a bit distracted. I mean, how can I see that squirrel all the way over there? Wow. Anyway, as we're saying, we've had, we're in June now, aren't we? So one might say we're in summer. But I feel like summer's been quite long because it feels like it started in March, because it was like really lovely weather in March. Then it went off again, then it come back again. Then we've just had a heat wave, a week of like really, really hot weather. And now it's gone dull again, which I'm kind of glad that it's gone dull again, because it means my plants get watered without me having to turn a tap on, and it goes a bit cooler. So, you know, evenings are not very nice, are they, when you're in bed and it's hot? But I just felt like I wanted to come outside with my broom and just sit a minute, because I've been up since 3:45 this morning, and I don't feel like I've done much. I've like caught up on some videos that I like to watch. And I've been and taken my car for a service, and the garage that I take my car to is literally just down the bank. So I drop it off and then just walk back up. But I think I'm feeling a little bit irritated because Rob's also been up quite early, but we haven't got to the shop any earlier, which is really annoying. So like yesterday I went down and well, you've seen the shop tour, or maybe I haven't yet, maybe I've put this before the shop tour. There's a little shop tour, and he went back down last night. Of course I was busy yesterday too, so some of the things you saw on the shop tour are now done, and he went down and did a few other bits last night. He's then this morning we're going down. I've got 4 more umbrellas to paint. So those umbrellas I mentioned to you yesterday, I painted 2 of them yesterday. They didn't quite work out how I wanted them to, so I was a little bit disappointed about them, but they're still quite nice. As far as I know, they're back up now because Rob's put them up. Now I need to go and paint the other 4. Oh, I've moved you around because I got you on a selfie stick and I get fed up of holding them. So I've moved you around so you can see the garden as well. That's what I was going to mention. That's why I come out, actually, to chill and also ask your opinion, because have you seen my grass? I'm in a quandary, right? Because the narrative in my head is that gardens should be maintained. My dad, I suppose that narrative comes from my dad, because my dad was an avid gardener, and I used to watch him. I would sit in the greenhouse while he pricked out seeds and, you know, little baby plants, and he wanted a particular type of garden, a very English garden, like very well maintained lawns, you know, green lawns, and he would cut them into shapes so they would be like, you know, like that. We had 3 lawns, so we had a large one at the back, we had a smaller one at the back, and then a smaller one at the front. We didn't have a massive house. We just lived in a council house, but we were the end house before they built on, and so we'd got like a corner plot. So we had these 3 lawns, and I've said on many occasions that I love my garden, but I've got a bit of my mum in me. My mum also loved gardening, but she was a very different gardener to my dad. She loved wild, and that's how I am. I mean, look at this hosta behind me, it's ace, isn't it? It's just so cool. But look at my lawn. Let me twist you around so you can see my lawn. Oops. I don't think my dad would approve. So that lawn, right, it's not big and it doesn't take much to mow it, but I threw some grass seeds down, and I didn't want to mow it straight after I'd put them down, obviously. I wanted them to take root, because the dog digs holes in the garden, and I don't mind because it's his garden too. I'm not like my dad in that way, but I kind of want my garden to be a bit wild. I don't want it to be pristine, and yeah, I don't want to mow my lawn every week, not because I'm lazy, because I'm not, but I love it when nature takes over, I really do. And I think it's sad, like, if you look at that tree there, let me tilt you back a little bit, it's quite funny. Can you see there? Can you see that there? Well, on the neighbour's side, this is the neighbour's tree, but on the neighbour's side, it's cut back. And on our side, it goes straight up. And I just like it like that. I really do. I mean, the one thing I don't like is sort of down the bottom of the garden here, these things here. These come over from the neighbours. Most of our overhang is from neighbours' houses. And I do love it, but this one that grows here comes over so far that when you're walking down the path, if you walk down the little stepping stone path, it touches your head, it's that low. And we cut it, well, Rob cut it right back. He doesn't do much in the garden, Rob doesn't, it's me. But I got him to cut that back because it was taking over our big, beautiful, it's an ivy, but I'm not quite sure what kind of ivy it is. And the worst thing about that is when you've cut it, it lands and it's really thorny. And so if you leave any bits and the dog comes out into this part of the garden, he grabs it and brings it into the house and chews it up, and it's thorny, and I just think it's going to hurt his gums. So yeah, it's just one of them, isn't it? Twice a year, I think, I like to cut my grass back. I mean, it is a big effort when you do cut it back, when you've let it go like that, because what I do is normally I go around with the scissors. People laugh when you say that. I actually cut my lawn with scissors. I go around the edge with the scissors, the garden scissors, and I cut the edge back. And then we have got a strimmer, but whenever the strimmer hits anything, the little blade thing breaks, doesn't it? So it's I don't often get that out, but I think I might have to, because I think what it is it, can you see the grass that's flowered there? I think that might be the new seeds. So I'm hoping it is, because that's what I was after, that's what I wanted. I scattered a whole box of new seeds and then thought, right, I'm going to leave them now and I'm not going to mow the lawn because I want them to take root, and then I'll mow the lawn towards the end of the season, but I think I'm going to have to do it before that. I think what I'll do is, we're just working so hard on the shop now, everything else is like, you know, not happening. I think we'll have to sort of designate a day where we say, right, we're going to do the garden today, obviously when it's a little bit sunnier, and come out and just go over it again, and then maybe again at the end of season, because yeah, I like it like that. The other day I was looking out the kitchen window and it hadn't rained, and it was really tall and it was just so proud, it just looked so lovely, and I'm like, yeah, I like it like that, I really do. Just reminds me of being out in nature, but you're in your own garden. Yeah, I need to do something with that, I know. I might actually change where I'm sitting. I'm going to show you that as well. So that bit there doesn't look very pretty, does it? That is where these chairs used to be. So these chairs were there. That's where they were, that's where they stayed, and I only moved them this year because I thought we were having a greenhouse and putting it there. So Rob built this, and it was really just for germinating plants, and I knew that we wouldn't be using it much this year. I just wanted to get the greenhouse in place before we started the shop, because I knew that once we started the shop we wouldn't do anything else, and that's how we've left it. So that membrane there was all the way across, and the gravel went all the way across, and as I say, the seats were there. But what I did is I started to pull the gravel away, pulled the membrane up, because it didn't really need to be there for the greenhouse, and I was going to pull all this back, get rid of the gravel over in some other part of the garden, and then we were going to make it flat and put the greenhouse on it, and of course we haven't done that. So like I say, Rob decided to do that little sort of lean-to type thing. Can't really call that a greenhouse, can you? The only thing that it's got in there is my baby jades, which I got a load more, so we've put them out there. Some of them haven't done well there, some of them have. I'll make more of that next year. I'll put some things in, I reckon, once we're not so busy. Lost the scissors. I think this is the new lights. Remember the spider light? Well, this, I think Rob's just said that the second one, oh, I can't open it. The second one is coming today, and this just arrived while I was videoing in the garden. Yes. Oh. Oh, it is. It's quite a lot smaller. No bulbs, so he's going to have to get the bulbs. Not quite sure where he'll get the bulbs from. So these don't look as long. Let me see. Maybe 6 of these, 2 minutes. Otherwise, my muesli will be soggy. I reckon they're not. Oh, they're still quite long though. Yeah, they're still quite long. I think they'll be good. Lucky Joe. Lucky Joe. Aha. Hello. What you looking at? You being nosy? What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? What's Bobbit doing? Can you hear him? He's cleaning.